Okay, let's be honest, building design portfolio is kind of stressful. You're constantly second guessing what to include, how much to show. I've been there. So in this video, I'm sharing with you 8 simple portfolio tips that can help you make your portfolio look more professional and actually attract clients. My name is Maria Toka. I'm a freelance graphic designer and we're talking about graphic design, freelance, all that sort of things on this channel. Just like today, 8 portfolio tips. These are things that I wish someone told me earlier, and honestly, they're pretty easy to implement once you know them. Alright, let's get into it. And let's start with a common mistake that I see in a lot of beginner portfolios, which is showing too much variety. A lot of designers think, if I show a bit of everything, I'll attract more clients. But in reality, it doesn't necessarily work like that. When your portfolio feels scattered, like branding, web design, illustration, packaging, and maybe some photography thrown in, it confuses potential clients. Instead, try to focus. Ideally, stick to one main niche, but if you really want to show some diversity and broaden your opportunities, keep it to maximum 3 niches, I would say, and make sure they are related somehow. For example, branding, packaging, and web design can work together, but branding, children's book illustration, and UX UI design feels kind of random, doesn't it? Remember, people want to hire a specialist, not someone who dabbles in everything. A focused portfolio feels more professional and makes you look like an expert in that area. Tip number 2 is about student projects and passion projects. If you're still a student or you've mostly done personal work, that's totally fine. You can absolutely include those projects in your portfolio. But here's the key. Don't highlight the fact that they are student projects. What do I mean? Well, don't write student project or passion project in the first line of your description or even worse in the title. No, don't do that. That can immediately give off that unprofessional vibe and in some cases scare potential clients away. Instead, you can just mention that it was a student project or a personal project at the very bottom of the description in small text, just to keep things honest, without making it the focus. And here's something people forget. If your concept project looks polished and realistic, clients might not even realize that it wasn't for a real brand. They don't always have time to check every single project, every detail of every project. So as long as you're not pretending it was real, technically you're not lying. And prioritize the best work, because most designers prioritize client work, no matter how good it was, what's the quality. Even if it's not client work, a high quality personal project will do far more for your portfolio than an average looking real client project that you're not proud of. That said, if you do have client work, include it, of course. But again, if you hate most of your client projects, choose maybe 1 or 2 the most decent looking, and that would be enough. And it's okay that the rest of your portfolio will be personal work. That might sound obvious, but quality always matters more than quantity, at least in case with your portfolio. Tip number 3, you need an actual website. I know a lot of people think just having a Behance page, a PDF portfolio, or even an Instagram page is enough. And sure, those things help, but nothing beats having your own website. So you need to have both. Those are just social media platforms. You need your website as a final destination. And it just looks way more professional. And what might surprise you is that building a portfolio website is actually way faster and easier than you think. If you already have your project images ready, you can get your site up in literally a couple of hours. And really, you don't need a fancy design, complex layouts, crazy branding. You really don't. You just need a simple, clean site that's easy to navigate and lets your work speak for itself. And if you've been putting it off because you don't want to learn web design, I get it. I was exactly the same. That's why I honestly recommend using a super easy website builder where you don't need to learn anything technical. And that's where today's sponsor comes in, Pixpa.com. I actually tried Pixpa myself to build my own portfolio. I just wanted to find an easier way to do it since the last time, but with Pixpa it's a little bit different. different. I'm going to show you in a sec. So basically how it works, this is the dashboard. You just go to website. So you press options and here you go to template and design. Press change template, but if you're just starting, it's going to be choose a new template. And here, huge library of templates. I believe it's more than 200. And you can even choose what kind of template you need. Portfolio, online store, business. Typically we will go for portfolio. And you can even choose what creative niche you're in. Graphic design, UX, UI. It can be just a wedding invitation website. I didn't even know that people create websites for that. Okay. Photography is a separate category. I know that a lot of photographers use Pixpa. Okay, I think this one is already applied. All right, now I wanted to show you how to edit your website. I just need to click on this page. It will open up, that will allow me to edit. And here, like each section, you just press edit section. In this case, it's done in a form of slides. You can add more slides, or you can change the layout completely. You can also easily change the order of each section. Yeah, this is the section that I want to highlight with my work. As you can see, I already added one. It's pretty easy. Edit image list. You can change the width, make them smaller, bigger, content alignment and everything. I'm just gonna upload my own work. So you just click on it and you upload your own image. Yeah, I think I'm gonna adjust this one later. Then I can change the text, obviously. 365 poster collection or something like that. The next section is contact form. Like graphic designers usually say something like, let's work together. Then you can change the layout, the form, the style, add more sections, such as the newsletter, testimonials, timeline. That might be helpful if you're explaining your work process, like what are the stages. So yeah, FAQ, payment on your social media pages, that could be really cool. All of these are some additional nice things to have. I think the most important is a hero section. Each project you should be able to open separately. You need to have a contact page and about me section, and that's pretty much it. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I built a full website in just about an hour, and now I'm seriously thinking of switching to Pixpa permanently because I just want to focus on my design work. I don't want to spend hours or learning complex tools just to put my portfolio online. I haven't watched any tutorial when I was using Pixpa. Plus, Pixpa is way more affordable option than a lot of other website platforms I've seen. And since they're sponsoring today's video, I have a pretty cool deal for you. If you use my link down below, you'll get 40% off any annual plan, or in even better, 55% off a 2-year plan. Honestly, that's a bargain. So maybe this is a sign, you know? Just stop overcomplicating it. It's way easier. Get your work online and focus on your projects. Tip number 4 is to focus on good, presentable mockups. I cannot stress this enough. Mockups are so much more important than people think. Even an average design can look 10 times better on a clean, professional looking mockup. And on the other hand, a good design can easily look bad if it's thrown onto a cheap or cluttered mockup. So please don't treat mockups as a last-minute task. It's way more important. Dedicate proper time to it. Mockups aren't just decoration. They are part of how your project communicates professionalism. Ideally, for each project, you want to have 2 main types of mockups. First, something minimal, a clean background with a focus only on the product itself, no distractions. This helps show the design clearly and professionally. And second, the real environment mockups. Show your design in context. Different backgrounds, different setups, different angles. If it's a packaging design, for example, show a product next to a hand or a person to help people understand its size and real-world use. And also, don't just show the flat design file. Maybe include one image of it, but focus more on presenting your work as an actual product. One extra tip, if you're working on packaging, try to include a mock-up of the unfolded version of the box or label. This shows your full design ready for print and adds a professional touch. And lastly, when using real environment mockups, be careful. Don't make environment too distracting or off-brand. Even if it looks pretty, it wouldn't help. The focus should always stay on your design, not the background. So keep it matching the vibe of the product or brand. Tip number 5 has to do with your profile picture. A little bit unexpected, I guess. If you're building a Behance portfolio or your personal website, you really should have a photo of yourself, either as your profile picture or in your about section. And no, it doesn't have to be from a professional photo shoot, even though it does help, but you can easily take a clean, sharp, well-lit photo of yourself. Just catch some good daylight, find a simple background, a plain wall works fine, and make sure your face is clearly visible. It should be high resolution, sharp, and distraction free. And now I get it. A lot of creatives, especially more artsy people, prefer to stay mysterious online. And you might be thinking, I don't want people to judge me based on how I look. I want my work to speak for itself. Or maybe you just don't like how you look on camera. I totally get it. But your portfolio isn't just a personal space for self-expression. You're building it for a specific purpose, to attract clients. And here, trust plays a huge role. Think about it. A client who lands on your website or Behance and sees a human face is much more likely to trust you than if your profile feels anonymous. Without a photo, there's always that subconscious question, is this even a real person? Or someone who just stole these images and wants to scam me? Like, you never know. There are so many scammers today. And it's not about looking good or showing off. It's just a way to say, hey, I'm a real person and you can trust me. It makes you feel more friendly and approachable, and clients actually care about that more than you might think. And of course, is it 100% mandatory? No, you can find clients without it, but it's a small, simple step that gives you a big advantage. Tip number 6, please don't skip project descriptions. Whenever possible, try to add at least 1 or 2 sentences under each project. I know writing isn't the most exciting part for designers, but it really helps people understand your work better. At the same time, keep it short and skimmable. No one's going to read huge paragraphs of text. No one's got time for it. People scroll fast, so your descriptions should be easy to digest. A good trick is to structure your text as bullet points. It's much easier to read and makes your portfolio feel more professional. Also, don't just write vague, random things like this project was fun, I explored typography. Like, be more specific. Try following a simple formula. Goal, solution, result. What was the goal of the project? What did you create? List the deliverables, for example, logo, packaging, social media graphics, whatever applies. And what was the result? If it's a real client project, you can even attach a short client testimonial in the results section. That adds a lot of credibility. Including process pictures like sketches, mood boards, or work in progress shots is also a big plus. It helps potential clients see how you work and think. Just make sure that these process images don't overpower your final result. The final product should always stay the main focus. Tip number 7, make it as easy as possible for people to contact you. This might sound obvious, but so many designers skip this step. Always include your email address and links to your social media, ideally in your about or contact section of your website. A lot of people just add a contact form and think that's enough. And sure, it looks clean and professional and very convenient for you and for clients sometimes, but sometimes it's just not enough. Some companies might not feel ready to fill out the form right away. Maybe they're just building a short list of designers they want to work with later, and they just need your email address for their database. And if all they see is a form, they might skip you and move on. So don't make it complicated. Give them both options, a contact form and your email address. And of course, link your social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, Behance, whatever you use the most. Some clients want to get a better sense of who you are and see more of your work before reaching out. So make it easy for them. Tip number 8, choose your thumbnails carefully. Your project thumbnails are the first thing people see, so they should be eye-catching but also clear. What do I mean by that? Well, your thumbnail should give people a general idea of what the project is about. Avoid using random or abstract images, even if they look pretty. Make sure it actually shows your design. And here's something a lot of people overlook. Try to make your thumbnails look visually consistent. Of course, each project is different, but if all your thumbnails are completely different styles or color palettes, your whole portfolio can start to feel overwhelming and confusing when every thumbnail is screaming for attention in a different way. It's hard for people to focus on your actual work. Think about how your projects look together, not just individually. Thumbnails should feel like they belong to the same designer, you. That helps reinforce your style and makes your portfolio feel more professional and cohesive. Alright, that's all I managed to come up with today. If I remember anything else, I'll just make another video with more advice. I hope you found these tips helpful. Let me know if you're going to implement any of them and which ones, because honestly, even small changes in your portfolio can make a big difference. If you got any questions or if you're stuck with your portfolio, just drop a comment down below and I'll try to help. And if you're working on your portfolio right now, best of luck, you've got this. Don't forget to like this video if it helped and subscribe if you want to see more design content. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. Bye!